Silent Hill, Ascension.
Welcome to Game-Geki, the show that is just chilling with the chat here in the greatest game ever made, Silent Hill Ascension. This is the pre-show, and DDK, and Silent Hill in all its glory is right before me. There's Eduardo, Layla, Corrimore, and Cats. I'm sure all these people are equally as titular. There's a few regulars that I recognise. Black Mage was a cameo the other day. See Johnny Zombie Boy a bit. Waiting for the regulars to roll on through, but I think they're going into what seems to be the way of things is the sticker brigade, spam them as the show starts. That seems to be how it goes nowadays.
You subscribe to the Judgment Auntie plan. I feel like I have to keep pitching it. That's
better put a sticker in.
If you want to be judged, just
we'll get that for you.
So Judgy Auntie, I would like you to recap.
Yes, this one, the greatest one.
I want you to recap what's been going on. Judge the story.
Of course, Turbo Bastard, who is the guy that does all the sort of the long play of this show with no commentary. It's ultimate way to experience Ascension, second only to Game-Geki, which has me talking all over it like a moron. Which what more could you want?
Either worship or hurt faith. We're like not entirely sure. Vibes are off at least, and then we now have we're faced with a decision on whether or not we want to believe Krista about what she said. Her intentions
regret
were. Meanwhile,
that we took Rachel's
Norway,
eye.
We have this
Damn,
brand
Drew.
new, loving, wonderful family unit traversing the town, and hopefully kind of maybe possibly looking to leave it, but not having
Damnation cheater.
Unlike Carl, who got out on
Do you think people
the
are cheating in the old
Royal Caribbean Express
questions? I mean, it's hard to tell if someone's cheating because they could just be dumping in 100, 200,000 and then getting the multipliers. It goes up to like 5 times on the wheel.
Eduardo, give us your catchphrase.
Oh, mine. Toot.
Oh, is that your catchphrase?
No, I was going for the foggy thing, but that works. Have a great show.
That's later, right? The fog.
Toot.
So as the curtain lifts, the fog will descend and allow us to welcome into our story. The show for tonight is just about to start. Lila and myself will have to recuse ourselves. It's Schrodinger's choice on which one of us comes back to be with Wilma. So you'll have to stick around to see who that is. But one thing's for sure, you will see Wilma and you'll hear that. So we're going to leave you to enjoy the show.
Do you reckon they're based in a really hot place in America? Because the fans all the time. Oh, the fans purely aesthetic. Let's bring the screen up. We almost have attacked them. Push! They're changing the fate as we go.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Subscribe to that guy. Huh. Guess people can make their own informed decision on that. I have no idea who that is. Story starting. Of course, you should all subscribe to Game-Geki on YouTube, the greatest channel. The Johanssons, or at least what's left of them.
Britt, where's Nils?
I left them down by the docks.
You what? Britt, you said they tried to kill
You
me.
left Nils and his pills.
I forgave them.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Why in
their
the hell
pills.
would you do that?
Ava ruined my life, Astrid. She ruined Niels too.
What if they tried to kill me? Or Orson?
What did you want me to do? Kill them? I am not Ava!
You know, ever since you came back here, everything has turned to shit for me.
Always looking out for yourself.
She's not really bringing
Mama's perfect little girl.
the best.
Fucking typical. Well, somebody had to say it.
Who used to let you crawl into their bed at night so you wouldn't hear Mama and Papa fighting? Who sent you money after I cut you off? Who took the brunt of Mama's shit?
You can't stand any
Ava
more of
were
this
gone?
arguing.
I did.
Head off to the
I
woods,
did.
Orson. It's what you
I
do.
thought everything that's happened was my fault. But maybe it's you. It's always been you.
She got angry enough to summon Silent Hill.
Orson!
Or at least she transports herself into the future. It's not necessarily explained what this is. I guess it's never really terribly well explained in Silent Hill either. It just kind of becomes evil.
I never meant to hurt Faith. I swear. Please.
She begs.
We need to get out of here
Looked
now.
like they were voting to take a prisoner last we saw, and that
Get up.
indeed is what's gone through. People in the chat demanded
What are
it.
you doing?
You're coming with us, Krista. But if you try anything, I will bash your skull.
Bash your skull in.
No! She wants to hurt me! Run!
Bit of ski-daddle. That was a weird crab walk that Krista did then. Or was that Rachel? They both got white.
Wait.
Alright, she teleported here with them.
Rachel?
It's the first time that she's kind of seen the rest of Rachel's gang. She's always been one-on-one before. She gets to meet the family now. This amazing shot of the barbed wire.
Rachel? Who are these people?
They're friends. Except
You
for
should
her.
flink out of a pit, out of existence for a second then.
Orson. I can't find him.
The child is safe with us.
Damn it.
Rachel.
You got away
who
again.
is this person?
Does the colour grading keep changing? Like, yeah, randomly there. It going to bright yellow.
Give
Or is
me
that just
my
some
boy.
light source somewhere?
It's you, our dear blessed savior.
It's dark yellow. Bright yellow again.
Get the hell away from her.
Dark yellow.
Eric, we're going. I'm sorry, but we cannot do that. We have so much more to show you, Mother.
Damn it. These Foundation freaks are adamant. You know that she's beaten because she's recoiling in horror there. Surely that's a completely separate scene.
Orson, Angel! Are you okay?
Oh, the kids have finally been united.
Hey, baby, we're right here.
I don't know if they saw each other whilst they were being trained. In the words of woe.
The way is shut, but soon, dear blessed, we will bring you the keys.
Faith? What have you done to my daughter? She's been waiting. She needs your help. You must bring her the key.
What key?
To open the door and usher in the great end.
Ah, the Great Empath.
Sweetheart, listen to me.
Whatever that is.
Faith, please.
Mother, it's you that must do this. Our blessed requires fingers to unlock the way.
Chocolate fingers.
Yours.
No, I already lost an eye. Damn it, they're coming for more body parts. Featured characters. Everyone. The gang was literally all there in that amazing scene. That was the ultimate convergence. But today we're being converged. Brit is converging with Quiet Room in the endurance sequence. It's going to be all killer, no thriller. Where's the first click going to be? Is it going to be over here? Over here? Over here. I should... They'd probably match... They're probably the same in every sequence, you know. I should really memorize them, but I won't do that. That was merely okay. Red. Community off to a roaring start. need to do the Endure VR experience, the ultimate experience. It's kind of like a ghost train with quick time events. I suppose this is like a ghost train with quick time events, though. So you know, can't beat a good ghost train. Oh, almost. Great. Call that great. Gotta keep fighting the good fight. That's one dead monster. Who knows what's real and what's not real in the world of Silent Hill? All these monster kills each character has got under their belt. The intimate familiarity with each and every one of them. Damn it, only okay. I've missed the first few clicks on that one. I really shouldn't comment whilst clicking. Makes it too difficult. Hide behind that office chair. I hate that. It's like totally accepts my click, but then rejects it again. Where are you? She arrived in the safety of the airport lounge room. Success all round. Hey, what's going on in here? Oh man, if I had a shotgun, I would have dropped it then. Getting out of here. Excellent stuff. Full bar for redemption. Contrail. Let's go. I imagine the difficulty was reduced on that one because yeah, it didn't seem too bad. Brit got like infinite hope. Yeah. Feed Eric to monster. Me too, Cyclops. I'm sure whatever Cyclops said was really amazing. So people can kind of review those questions and determine what was redemption. So I think if you go into the past, you can see the actual what they were. Amazing stuff. Lots of them sending all them stickers. So we got the amazing interview now. Ah, excellent.
Welcome to the Silent Hill Ascension
On
post
par.
show. I'm still Layla, but I'm
With
here
Rachel.
with Wilma Rachel Rivera. Wilma, hello.
Hi,
Art
Layla.
imitates life.
Welcome to the
Imitates.
show.
Thank you.
So happy to have you here. Wilma, we just saw a whole bunch of stuff happen in Silent Hill Ascension in the live show, and
Although she's got
going on with
more
Rachel.
jewelry than Rachel.
But today is about you. So would you mind taking just a second to introduce yourself to the audience?
Hi everyone. Thank you for having me, Layla, and everyone on the production team. Just so grateful to be here and the audience. So thank you for tuning in, for watching Silent Hill Ascension. I am really grateful that you're enjoying it. So my name is Wilma Rivera. I am Puerto Rican and Cuban.
I didn't recognize y'all with the eye
My
patches.
mom's from Puerto Rico. My dad's from Cuba. And I've been acting since I was a little girl professionally. Since, you know, I'm not going to give my age away, but professionally for a few years.
Did Wilma sing the
and
song
I
in
currently
the
live
show?
in Los Angeles. I was in New York for a really long time. And, you know, it's such an honor and a privilege to just be able to tell stories. And I've always loved telling stories since I was like 5 years old. I knew I wanted to be an actor. So to be able to get to do that.
Sometimes the characters kind of look like the voice actors. It's a strange phenomenon.
I'm really happy to be here. So
I don't know
excited.
if it's just intentional.
And just thank you for the opportunity.
Sometimes it's a coincidence.
Thank you for sharing your talents with us. We're so happy to have you. L'audience, if you wouldn't mind.
Yes, the
we will
audience.
be able to ask Wilma some questions. So if you guys have questions for her, please feel free to put them in the chat. I'll have them in a backlog, and I'll be able to pull them towards the end of the interview. But feel free to start asking them now, or as they come up, so that you guys don't have to hang on to them. But hey, let's kick ourselves off with the question we usually ask, which is, Wilma, are you a fan of horror?
You know what?
I hate horror.
When I was younger, I could not stand horror movies. I think till this day, like.
But the job's a job.
I hate being scared, but I like it at the same time.
What?
You know what I mean? So
What the heck did I say that was blocked there?
The first films that I ever did was called Inve, and it was a horror film.
Is it hatred that was blocked? Or perhaps some variation of the word whore?
I was just like, oh my God, I really, really, really love this. So that kind of started my horror film horror love.
Is it the word horror?
And I really enjoy them, especially anything that has to do with like demons.
I'm not sure what
the idea of like spirituality kind of thing.
Got blocked there.
You know, I love the Silent
Hill
franchise
AI
as well, like all of it. So I'm just like, I'm one of those people that's like, no, I don't want to see it. But then I'm like, ooh, let's go see the scary movie, because I enjoy like that, like wanting to be scared and having to like close my eyes. I do like this.
There you go. I scare them with this sticker.
Every time I see a scary movie, I feel like I'm hiding in someone's armpit the entire time.
Exactly. But I want to do it, you know?
Right.
Are you married?
It's funny that you say that.
How does it work?
Love kind of started with doing it.
How does it work?
Astrid's
the thing that you were telling us about.
The same thing, where like really doing it is part of the fun when you get to sit behind the scenes. And the story I always like to tell is working as a producer for a horror project. I get to make tickets for things like, please add flies to the viscera pile,
yes.
Which is just delightful. So, in terms of the work itself, what was a typical day for you recording in the Los Angeles studio?
So Los Angeles studio, obviously after hitting all of the traffic, because there's tons of traffic in LA, you know, I'd do my vocal warm-ups. I'd usually get some tea.
No new questions in today's show.
I don't know if you can probably hear it, but my voice is just naturally very raspy. That comes from years of just not taking care of it, and also natural. So I have to do a lot of tea, lots of vocal warm-ups, and then I would sit with our amazing director Tiffany, who, you know, we would do just a couple of run-throughs of like what was going on story-wise, and we just get into the studio and just start going in and, you know, talking about story and doing, you know, the different performances of the different scenes. And typically, you know, I'd ask a lot of questions because, you know, this was such like, there are so many pieces to this particular story. So I wanted to make sure
she is such a babe. That's what Rain
to this character
said.
and to this story. So that was really important to me. And just making sure
so
that
true,
I had all
agrees
my ducks
Johagen.
To be able
named
to
after Hogan, I'm sure.
Or give this project all the love and the attention that it deserved. So
Hogan,
yeah,
best.
and it was just like, you know, there's as a voice
So
actor.
she just said that
other voice actors
you're
have
great,
talked
Rachel,
about this,
but
you
all the
have
other
to do
characters
so
are better.
much in the studio for so many hours because there's lots of yelling and screaming before you have to be like, okay, we need to end for the day. So Rachel luckily has a lot of those, so a few days were just like, can we, it was a lot on the voice, but it was so much fun. So it was always at the end I was like, wow, this was really, really fun.
Good. I'm so happy to hear that. I've only been in a booth a couple times, but it is a delight each time.
Every time.
We
You
have
record
some audience questions that are good follow-ups, actually, and I'm gonna
all
merge,
the-
if you will, two of them,
all
which
the
is how did
choices.
you get your start in
just,
voice acting specifically, and then what was your reaction when you got cast as Rachel in Ascension?
Those are good questions. How did I get my start in voice acting? You know what? This was actually my first voiceover gig that I like booked and performed in.
There you go. That's
which
my
was
question.
really, really exciting. I have been auditioning for voiceover. I have, an agent. A lot of times,
I'm sure that question's been answered
agents
before.
also do voiceover casting as well. So I have a voiceover reel that I created and sent.
I mean, obviously not
This was actually
like
the first thing
immediately, but
and I was so excited.
same
Like,
day or nothing.
I read
But
the
like,
story.
do they
I read
record
kind of
them
the
weekly?
the breakdown is what we call them in the biz, and I was like, oh, I get this person. I get this character, and you know what else I did? Honestly, Layla, like for whoever
I
asked
like
the
Rachel.
question,
She's tough.
I listened to a lot of. My fiance watches a lot of anime, and I'd watch. Yeah, I know. So I'd watch a lot of anime and hear what these other voice actors were doing and just paying attention, just having a little bit more of a sharper ear, which I think anything that we do can really help us in our craft and training our ear to just have a sharpness of how this voice, like closing my eyes and seeing if I can hear how the voice actor's telling the story and taking that into my auditions. And every audition has been something I've learned from, and this kind of was just a culmination of all those auditions.
A sharper ear.
Like, this one finally came in,
like
an
an anime
right
character
part for the right voice, and I was so excited to get this. Like so happy.
Again, just
Rachel's fortunes have turned around.
So much joy, because I know it's been a hot minute since you were in the booth for us, but like it's great to see that you still carry that joy with you, because it's good to see it as somebody who's been on the project for a long time, and you kind of brought up that you relate to Rachel, but when you read that breakdown, what was your first perception of Rachel's character? Like, how did you react to her? What was it about her that you found so relatable?
I think for me, it was that the notion of like, I have to take care of my family. Like growing up, I think in a Latino family where like tradition and responsibility and loyalty and like
there's not much loyalty going on in that family.
Trauma and us handing
Eric
it down
couldn't wait
to our children,
to get into that mergy. In fact, I'm
like,
going to say
things
that.
get handed down, especially in Latino families. Like, I really identified with that, and it was an opportunity for me to like come at this from a different perception, because it is very easy, I think, for someone to approach this character in a way that's incredibly judgmental
with spiteful comments like that.
I think that puts a lot of actors in like a box. And so I really tried to approach Rachel with like, what could draw someone so deeply into,
people be too judgy of pirate
deeply,
Rachel,
about the Foundation, and thinking that it's the right thing
Blue
to do.
Beetle,
and
that
it always came back to
movie,
I love my family,
Marvel,
and my family is the most important
Marvel
thing to
flick.
Me. And so that for me was my in, and I kind of took that and ran with it. And whether or not it's
I'm going to start the old arcane library. So let me switch over the audio.
Perception and how people perceive things, because there are certain things that
what game we got
are, like,
today?
I'm doing this for God,
It's buried memories. I was surprised that we get them.
And to them, it's the right thing
before they've like racked up 1 billion levels.
Like, that's completely like off the rails. So really, just trying to approach it as just like. That's what attracted me to it at first, and where I kind of found it in was like,
the chat on the other screen.
She loves her family, and
they're looking at the chat with Cost
why
me.
she's doing
No,
everything
don't
she's
know the
doing.
code of that, though.
And you know, as we've seen from the audience with with Ascension, that like, you know,
I think I'm crazy,
not
but I'm
everyone
not.
agrees
I'm
with
only a
how
little at
certain-
odds with
how
myself.
that comes
Odd.
out.
Okay, that could be a
But,
clue.
you know, how exciting that people are starting to
Pothole.
see
Must
the
be.
change.
This
as
must be
well in
England then.
Rachel. So that's a good thing.
It is, yeah. It's very exciting because the audience definitely was not
For sale.
super on Rachel's
A
side
number.
to begin with.
Odds.
But have certainly come around on her.
5,
And
7,
I definitely get what you mean
3,
in terms of because every
5,
character has to
9.
be the hero in their own story.
100%.
And Rachel is definitely the hero in her own story, even if she has an awareness
Confirm.
of the fact that the things she's doing aren't necessarily quote unquote moral in the moment, right?
Do
They're
I have
moral in
any
her
objects?
context.
Exactly. Yeah.
3 objects, but I need
yeah,
4 in
that's
order
a wonderful place
to
relate to, I think.
tango.
What were your thoughts about the audience having Rachel take out her own eye? And actually, there's an audience follow-up
we
to
got a
this,
key.
which is, were you proud of them?
I actually was like, honestly, like
We can work on
there
this
were,
pothole.
a few different storylines for that scene. And when I was recording,
Got
I
some
was
more
like,
goodies.
I really hope that they like self-sacrifice for me, because that's also like a big turning point for Rachel. Like, it would say something about the audience if like Rachel had like done it to
What's
someone
the
else.
clue?
Had taken out someone else's eye. And so yes, I was really,
For
really
this,
proud
exactly.
of the audience. And
Not really,
again, it's that notion of just like,
oh, there's a clue right here.
how
Everybody always says the spring is a fresh start,
do we
but the year
where
always
do I
begins
go-
with
how am I
winter.
trying to- how can I say this?
Winter.
It's like,
Spring.
how do we
Summer.
how
Autumn.
does our convictions, right?
Excellent stuff.
What does that
Can't
do
watch
to
it
us?
now
What does
'cause
it
it's
make us do
PC.
to ourselves? Like, how deeply do we believe in something that it affects us? And like, it sounds crazy to like rip out your own eye, but like, if this was the only option, would you do it?
It was the only way. Faith
You know what I
was
mean?
lost.
It's like to Rachel, that was the only option. And so I was, I at least in the story, and so I was really grateful that like the audience did choose that, because there were some other
I feel so mixed up all the time.
that I would have been like, oh shoot, but this was good. I think, and maybe that had something to do with the turning point for Rachel.
Can't believe it's a
that and,
library
for context,
screen,
for you,
because that means
also,
the puzzles are going
Eric
to be rock
surfacing
solid.
that he had
Books,
more or less
always
kind of,
bad
like,
news.
not pressured,
We always
but
have
had
5
conversations
goals
with
as our
Rachel to
censor.
encourage her to have faith,
First we went north,
or maybe pressured,
to the
right? You
chill
weren't
and
there for
cold,
it. So that was
west,
also a big
deserts,
part of the turning point.
east, wonders,
huge.
south, warm,
But
center, once
so
more.
we said that the eye was the turning point, but whether humorously or in earnest, what was your favorite
Northwest,
scene
east,
to record for
south,
Rachel?
center.
Oh, that's a really, really good question. I think for me,
Doesn't seem
it
relevant to that.
was the opening scene, really, like the first one that comes out with
Oh, right, it's this.
oh my
isn't it?
gosh, the first scene
me
with
review
the
that.
ceremony, like
North,
that for me was
west,
the
east,
first thing
south,
that I
center.
recorded, and so that always holds a very special
Naughty
in
elephant
my-
squid in
in my-
water.
in my
West,
heart for Silent Hill Ascension. And that was, I think,
south, east,
the
center.
kind of almost like,
I've,
the first
already
thing that
forgotten.
kind of pops up when I started watching
North,
Ascension.
west, east, south, center.
Yeah, and that scene, I believe that scene was in the trailers too, or we showed
Yeah,
it.
it was in the
at
trailers,
SCC.
yeah.
So, and for us on the dev team too, we use that scene to test a lot. So I'm pretty sure I have it memorized.
100%, yeah.
Is that like the clues
That
of
was where,
the
that was
books?
honestly, Layla, that was the first scene that I actually saw with my
AUATMR.
voice to like Rachel, and I was like, whoa, that's so cool. So it does, like, there were wonderful, awesome scenes in this, but like that one for me always holds a very special part, because it was like, wow, that's my voice on that that avatar, and that looks so cool. And it's also like
try that.
the design was
Wrong.
so beautiful, and
What about
just
that one?
hearing like how all the pieces came together was just like, it was a very beautiful moment for me. So that'll always be my favorite scene.
No.
Yeah, I can't
Clearly,
imagine that. That must be a surreal.
It's not what they
moment
want
that
of
you
me.
got to experience.
Yeah.
We got an audience question that I think dovetails nicely, which is, what kind of relationship do you have with your coworkers on the project? Did you ever get to meet them or talk to them? Because I know a lot of the recording was done separately.
Yeah, so
Maybe I remembered it wrong.
I met, you know, I did a lot of work with the director, but I didn't really get to work with anyone else. And maybe there was just like passing, like I think I met Xavier once.
Is it because it's like murder
but,
or
like,
something?
everyone was really, really nice. Everyone who I've met, and a lot of the recording was done separately for this. So I had a great relationship with our director and our sound guy. Shout out to everybody who was in the booth and who was there in the trenches. And so yeah, I did not unfortunately get to meet a lot of the other actors who were doing the recording with us.
Yeah, well, lots of shouts for Tiffany, by the way, on these interviews. Go Tiff.
She was my angel throughout this whole thing, and I like shout out to Tiffany wherever you are. Just phenomenal. Yeah, Martin and Jordan, everyone was they were great. Phenomenal.
Something needs a chopping,
I'm
but
again jazzed to hear it.
Who knows what?
Different phrasing. Well, what is your take on the whole Eric and Krista thing?
Ugh, what a... Can I swear? Can I swear on this?
You can swear in a limited fashion for emphasis as a guest.
Yeah, well, she's a bitch, but like... sorry, but no. That's my initial reaction, but like...
How dare!
It's just
How dare she call that character a bitch?
Whoever wrote
Krista,
that in, I was like,
a bitch.
Kinda love it.
The mixed up must be a clue. We've got to shuffle this to spell something.
As a chismosa, like on my, on my side, I'm like,
I'm a wrong sibling for this. My brother's great at this kind of thing.
So for me, like that was like a great little part of the story. But as Rachel, like, of course, it's those feelings of like, God, what a bee. What, like, how could you do that to me and my husband and like the life that we built together? And then that, like, as I was working on those scenes, like, it really turned into like, what did I do? Like, did I do something wrong? So, it's, and obviously no spoilers for, the scenes to come. But I think the way that I approached it was like, this is life. This is what happens. Like, it is what happens in real life sometimes. Like, it's true. So I think that was very realistic, but like, it's also, as I was working on that, for later scenes, it was just like, okay, how do I make this real to me? And realizing that like, maybe I did something wrong.
Have the foggiest.
So who knows? We've got to figure things out as we move through life, and we have to learn how to be okay with things that happen.
Yeah, Eric could definitely throw some accusations at Rachel's feet about some mistreatment.
Tamar.
100%. And then like I allowed all of that to just be very like allow it to hit me as just like, that feeling of like, how dare you, when it came at me. And I was working on it. So agreed. Yeah. Like throwing those accusations, because I do believe like Rachel for the longest, for their relationship, felt that she was doing the right thing the entire
I'll exit the level, because I know that you can
accusations come, like for me it was
what
like,
you can do with these is resume them.
So it did, like it took Rachel by surprise.
Just remembers your progress. Then, so I'll exit for now and play the rest of the mini games.
There's always going to be doubt, and it's a very human thing, and how we let that doubt affect us and affect others is just how we move forward.
Yeah. And there's a lot of moving forward that these characters have to do. Yeah. So one last audience question that I think is a nice segue, which is the phrasing here: is it more fun to play a good person or a villain? But what we touched on earlier, is it more fun to play somebody who is good, straightforward, or who has a bit more of like a gray or questionable morality? Is I think the way I'd like to phrase that.
Oh, questionable morality.
My morality is
absolutely
beyond
I think
reproach.
That's like it's such a juicy challenge.
Would you question my morality?
Especially like I don't want to toot my own horn, Layla. I think I'm a really good person.
Oh, this is the space to toot.
Okay. So
yes, toot.
I'm a good person. And I know I'm a good person.
She said the thing.
So for me, it's
I didn't know toot was a thing, but I guess it is.
That have questionable morality,
it's been
and it's really
mentioned in a previous show.
I get to
pre-show.
find a way in to make it believable to me so that I can tell the story and give the story justice. So for me, that's always way more fun than like playing the good hero. I love playing the villain. I've got great villain hair. And so it's thank you, right? So it's just
Great
I
villain
really
hair.
do enjoy it, which is so funny because
That is what
I
one.
like,
That's what I have.
I'll tell this
My
quick little
hair is
story.
an
Like,
unruly
when I was a
mess,
little
and
girl,
therefore
my
it must
mom
be
threw a
villain hair.
piece of gum outside the car window.
Not that I'm saying that
and
that
I
hair is
started
an
to
unruly
sob,
mess.
and she's like, "Why are you crying?" And I was like, "Mom, you're
As a
gonna kill
villain,
the ducks because the ducks are
I
gonna
have
swallow
unruly
and they're
hair.
gonna die." And so I made my mom go back and get the gum. And so like I'm just like I always have had good morals and like the feeling, the empathy, right? So playing characters with like questionable morals are just really juicy to me and such a challenge, and I'm ready to take on that challenge whenever I can.
Yeah,
There we go. I reckon that
in
car
the
has been
hair is
repaired.
giving Shido from Kim
Oh, almost missed a
Possible.
piece there.
It's giving young Mother Gothel the volume. It's giving
Good thing I
Michelle
double
Pfeiffer
checked the
Stardust.
components.
You got volume and presence, and that you need that in a villain.
Thank you.
Well, our last question: do you have any parting messages for our audience?
Excellent stuff.
I think, if there's anything that we can learn, right, from these characters.
Double check that puzzle there.
I just think, like, take care of each other. Like, really take care of each other, and not just like,
no one
shooting a
really,
text, but, like,
really
looking
takes
at
care of
someone
one another. That just
in the
doesn't
eyes
happen.
and
That's
saying,
too
"How
much
are
to
you?
ask.
How are you doing?" Really check in and take care of each other, because I think sometimes we forget to do that to even strangers or people that are closest, especially people that are closest to us. So take care of each other.
Take care of each other. Take care of your neighborhood ducks and all the life. Well, thank you so much, Wilma. What a pleasure. Production is going to throw up Wilma's Instagram handle.
I'm stumped. I don't know what
the social singular.
What word you could spell from that.
So take a second, screenshot it.
Mart.
There you go. It's so hard.
Tour.
There you go. Cameras. Take a second, screenshot it. Write it down. Put it on a paper airplane and throw it at yourself. Go follow Wilma. Support her in all of her voice and also video acting endeavors. If you
try
see
to
her
spell
in a
Mwatwa in a
or,
weird
I don't know,
way.
If you do stage stuff, a play, wherever you see Wilma, go support her. That is my mandate.
Thank you. Thanks, Layla.
Of course. We have a little bit of housekeeping, if you wouldn't mind keeping me company through the end of our show.
You what?
Which production? We have another beautiful graphic to put up about the cameos.
Tarama.
The final cinematic
final cameo
is
holy
coming
moly.
up. This will be your last chance to be part of the Silent Hill Ascension canon. The cameo contest will close on Monday, April 8th. Details on the end of the canon run will come at a later date. So if you want to be in the story, you got one more chance to take a shot at it. So be ready for that. It'll close on the 8th.
The final cameo
said,
contest is this one.
Cameo closes.
So,
you will still be able to join us cameos during Endure, so the cameo contest will still be open.
This is the only time to try the cameo then.
So plenty of opportunity to show up as a corpse, or show up as somebody who's about to be a corpse, or perhaps wishes to be a corpse. Who's to say? But hey, we are now near the end of the show. Wilma, it has been such a wonderful pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. We saw today just escalation upon escalation in both Norway and Pennsylvania. These stories are coming to a beautiful climax, and thank you so much for lending your talent to it. Rachel is a wonderful, complicated, nuanced person.
Maybe it's merely
through these troubling situations, and
the word
we're
flipped
so
reversed.
happy that you happened upon the role and got it, and that you love the experience.
Thank you. It was wonderful, Layla. So thank you for tuning in, and I really appreciate being here.
Absolutely. Production, if you wouldn't mind throwing up the run show graphics so I can take us out. As per usual, everybody, 5:40 p.m. Pacific, pre-show, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, with either me, Eduardo, or Noah, some combination of two of the three of us.
All the time.
Then you'll see the show at 6 p.m. Pacific every weekday, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you come right back to a combination of your three beloved hosts, Captain Tuggy and the judging aunties, as I am trying to shop our band around. I don't know what genre it'll be yet, and we'll figure it out. Thank
Terrible
you all so
choice.
much
I'll
for
just put it in
joining
the
us
order
on
it's
your
shown.
Friday evening. Have
Sure,
a
it'll be right
wonderful
by accident.
weekend. And Wilma, again, thank you so much. We'll see you all on Monday.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, don't know. I reckon I'm just about stumped on that one. But if you know the answer, right, I guess that'll do for today anyway. So, do me goals. Contribute to a decision. The only decision currently in progress. So, let's see. Let's challenge the beliefs of the followers. I mean, I've already done attack them, so I may as well do a second thing. I'm totally consistent with my choices. What's a daily catch-up video? I can't now because I already watched them before the thing. So there's no other real choice than to enter the cameo because this is the only. Actually, I don't want to enter all of them, not all at once. That's inefficient. You got to buy some, then go back and claim your prizes. Look at this smorgasbord of prizes. Mustard long coat. I think these fancy coats must be all like the women coats or something that are only suitable for the female body, perhaps. That's why I won that coat and it seemingly didn't show up. Get myself some more cameo. This must be like the most filled cameo of all cameo contests. The odds of winning it, even with all this experience dumped into it, will probably be infinitesimally small. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And claim all. Arcane Library, excellent. Back to the cameos, get the tickets, max them out. And how many is that left me on? 4. I'll keep the 4 just in case I get any interesting things over the weekend. Scrank, go all in. It's time. Do it for us. Do you need to save any for what if? Well, could be, but then it won't be canon, will it? Well, speaking of canon, I feel like I've been shot out of a cannon. It's time to end today's amazing episode. Join us next time. To find out if we've won this stunning cameo contest. You never know. I could be another corpse in the thing, the endurance. All right. GG.